From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. There has been a significant water main break in Alberta's largest city. Officials say the break happened in northwest Calgary last night, near the Sarcee Trail and the 16th Avenue Northwest interchange. Authorities believe the break is related to the Bear Paw South feeder main, the same line behind a significant rupture in June of last year. The mayor of Calgary says 13 people had to be rescued from their vehicles by city fire officials as roads began flooding around the break. Jeremy Farkas also says a boil water order is in effect for parts of some communities. Global Affairs Canada says it doesn't have any information yet about the status of Oxfam Quebec in the Gaza Strip. The Associated Press is reporting the nonprofit is on a list of 37 organizations set to be barred from Gaza by Israel as of January 1st. The groups, including Doctors Without Borders, are reportedly marked for failing to comply with new vetting rules aimed at preventing Hamas and other militant groups from infiltrating the aid groups. Claire Sanfilippo is with Doctors Without Borders, also known as MSF.
MSF would never knowingly employ people engaging in military activity. Any employee who engages in military activity would pose a danger to our staff and to our patients.
The voluntary grocery code of conduct is set to fully roll out tomorrow for grocers, suppliers, wholesalers, and manufacturers.
It was set up in an effort to bring more transparency, fairness, and predictability to the industry. The code includes a dispute resolution mechanism which governs how complaints are addressed by the office and what the consequences are for violations of the code. The code of conduct is not intended to address retail prices. Diana Musina, The Canadian Press.
This year's edition of Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest will boast the iconic show's largest lineup and longest telecast in its more than 50-year history tonight on ABC. The show will span multiple cities, feature dozens of performances, and run for 8 hours. Ryan Seacrest and his Times Square co-host Rita Ora laid it all out.
We start at 8 o'clock. It goes till 4. We'll be in Chicago for the first time with a drop there. Obviously here in New York, Puerto Rico, Las Vegas. So 4 drops, 4 midnight moments.
And Hockey Canada announces its entire men's Olympic hockey roster today. Canadian Press sports reporter Joshua Clipperton says the game's best will be back when Italy hosts the Milano Cortina Olympic Winter Games in February.
Canadian players like Sidney Crosby are getting a chance to play again. He, of course, scored the golden goal in Vancouver and then led Canada to gold in Russia 4 years later. But players like McDavid, McKinnon, Makar, this generation of star players have not had a chance to play on the biggest stage, that Olympic stage.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Canada's under-20 men's hockey team returns to the ice tonight to take on Finland at the World Junior Hockey Championship in Minnesota. Canada goes into their New Year's Eve game leading the Group B standings with 8 points, 1 point more than second place Finland. Another loss on home ice for the Vancouver Canucks. David Kampf scored early in the first for Vancouver, but the team couldn't hold the lead, falling 6-3 to the Philadelphia Flyers. Canucks head coach Adam Foote says his team needs to be more disciplined.
Seemed like once they got that goal, we were a little bit off our game.
The shorthanded Toronto Maple Leafs beat the visiting New Jersey Devils 4-0. And Nick Suzuki scored late in the third and then scored in overtime as the Montreal Canadiens rallied to beat the Florida Panthers 3-2. Brad Marchand scored for the Panthers, joining the NHL's 1,000-point club. In the Professional Women's Hockey League, the Toronto Scepters fell 5-1 at home to the defending champion at Minnesota Frost. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.